So you are both really well known for your strict regimen and being extremely healthy,
They
right?
call it strict.
It is a strict regimen.
It's so funny to me. Like,
to the average
it's
person,
not
it's
strict.
strict.
It's not a strict
It's
not strict. It's like it's just
life.
That's like calling it a strict regimen to be faithful to your wife.
That's a strict regimen.
No, it's not. It's really
It's a
just
good regimen.
It's devaluing.
Why?
the
So strict means
trash.
hard.
That's what I'm saying.
right.
It must be hard
So-
for you.
So is it
So,
hard?
so would you say that the average person you talk to considers your diet strict?
Because they're poorly educated. Of course, there's a poor description of it.
So
It's
I
not
speak
strict.
from the masses and not so much as
Right. So that's why we have to correct it. It's not strict regimen. It's
you have such a healthy and well-being regimen.
a self-care where we care about ourselves in a certain kind of way.
Yeah,
and
because
it
strict
involves
can
our
be
food.
derogatory.
Like, yeah, because it's such a. It's not strict. It's more like ew,
Still get it.
carcass. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not like oh, I do not eat that delicious. No, it's like
Right.
I just don't eat that.
Yeah,
shit. You
like
keep
y'all
that?
major pain.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like, oh hell no, it's disgusting. Like you, I don't want to bleeding carcass. You know, it really doesn't look good. It doesn't smell appetizing to smell a cooking carcass. It, you know, because I've gotten to the point where I understand it, and that's the difference. Like people don't want to understand that most of those animals that y'all are eating are all female animals, and we're all eating estrogen at an enormous rate, and wonder why all women end up being more masculine and men end up being more feminine as they get older. But nobody wants to hear that. We'd rather just have the fried chicken. Eat the I'm sorry, fried chicken is not just fried chicken. It's a chicken's breast dipped in its own period eggs and then rolled around in flour that was stripped of its nutrition and
Kris
often
has a
in
way of
stores
speaking about this.
dropped in pig fat.
Normally I
which
cut
is
people off, but I'm
crazy.
letting him have fun.
But it's what it is, you know? Like, it's what it is. Nobody, like, I don't want to hear that.
Right.
You don't want to hear what you're doing to yourself?
Right.
So
You really don't?
your perception. I can reword this whole question beautifully. Thanks. So your perception and your outlook on health, right? Does that ever scare any of your clients away?
I don't talk about it. I don't talk about my perspective until they ask.
Got it.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
I've
do
learned
that.
not to.
I don't do that. I like, you know, when they say if you know a vegan, they'll tell you. You know, actually, it's because you said something
They triggered it.
that triggered
usually.
it. Like, hey, you want this burger?
Yeah. No.
I'm good.
Bro.
I'm not interested in that.
A lot of times, if I come into the room, just my presence alone would.
I can't even go to somebody's birthday
They
party
be like, here she
without
go.
somebody talking about you. It's cool, we drink. You're like, man, come somewhere.
Live your best life.
Right. Tell yourself, I'm
can't
not
live,
I'm
man.
not
I live.
Right.
You're naughty. And it's like, I don't care about
So
what
I
you
don't
do.
impose on
It don't
others.
matter what you do.
Let them be.
You are in your space. You know what I
is
mean?
true.
Like
Yeah.
folks rock like 100 pairs of Nikes and won't spend a dime on a healthy food. That's
Yeah,
your
that's
choice,
your
B.
business, yeah.
Ain't none of my business. I'm not here to judge you. Nothing. But folks, you know, it's really just the subconscious thing when you know
Yeah.
you need
That
to be
you should
doing
be,
something
yeah.
better. You know what I mean? And like
It's easier to lash out than it is to.
go inside.
Yeah, I know.
This is true.
I know.
This
You
is
still
true.
So
jab.
much easier. That's right there is that
Oh,
part
yeah.
of him that.
So,
yeah.
what are the biggest myths since you already no? So you say you don't speak on it either?
No, I don't waste my time.
I let them ask. Yeah,
Yeah.
let them ask.
I
Yeah,
don't,
like you.
I don't want to be on over people's shoulders, and I want them to feel just as free as I am. And if they choosing that way of living, then they're choosing. If they ask for my help,
Right.
then I help them. But if it's family members or something, they tend to be like, "Oh, here she gone." Yeah, my kids, Mama, don't say nothing.
When I lived that life, right? Because I lived it for a little while, right? I won't claim it a long time because he really gonna get me there. I lived it for a little while, right?
Down to the minute. It wasn't that long. No, this message.
Man, I give it a couple years in there. I mean, you know.
All right.
So, but I used to take it as like I used to take that as a badge of honor when people would make fun of it. Originally, it offended me, but then I used to find it hilarious. And I walk in somewhere with a pineapple, and while they talking, I just start cutting up this big old pineapple, slicing it down, and they like, "That's all you finna eat?" Yeah, I'm finna tear this pineapple up. I've been thinking
Yeah, I
about
don't
this
get
more
offended.
pineapple all day. I just want this pineapple.
Yeah, if anything, I find people talking about me more. You know, about, oh, here she go eating this stuff again. I found it a lot to be at work. You know, if I'm sitting
Right.
around, I'm eating the same stuff. You know, I hear the little comments. But it's weird because I never say nothing about their food.
No, I just show you that they watching. Even though
Yeah,
they talking
so
crazy,
I
they
find
really
it as
watching.
flattering, and I just keep
It
it
is.
moving.
It's
Yeah.
outward
So,
reflection of self.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, but it's good.
It definitely is.
It's good.
So, what would you say are the biggest myths or false truths that you hear from your clients that they love to follow or very trendy?
Anyone of clients that I,
or people that you interact with regularly when it comes to the health world.
Oh, I can tell that a lot of them are not educated in diet, period. But I don't think it comes from where I think it started within the home. A lot of things are passed down from one generation to the next, and I wasn't even educated growing up. A lot of it I came across Kris, and what happens is it's like a circle of life. You run into him, and then you run into other people, and the circle just keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. And you keep educating yourself if you're open to it. If you're not open to it, you're not going to grasp it, and you can care less about it. So I was very open to it.
I never forget. So one time you had posted on the net. This is back in the day, right? You had posted on the net when you had first started out. You was like, I don't understand the balance I do in the healthy thing. And then everybody just came on there, myself, you, we all just came on there and started talking to you. So it's beautiful when you say that, because that sticks in my mind all the time. Because it makes me proud to see how far you've gone, where I'm like, man, she has really grown. And then I ran into her in the gym one time and we were talking about something and you were telling me all the things you love to eat. He was like, yeah, but I don't eat none of that. But I really am eating. Like it was like a release for you to talk about it, right? And it's beautiful to watch you, grow from that. I just want to give you
we was talking at the
flowers
fest.
for that.
We was at the music fest talking about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Listening to music, talking about the smoothies stuff and all of that. So it's good to see the progression for sure.
It's
what you got on myths, false truths?
Oh man,
sit back.
It's a lot of them.
It is.
I'll name some of
one,
them. There isn't a biggest one. It just depends on where they're coming from. Like the one that eating less makes you lose weight. Yeah. And the problem with that is they eat less and lose muscle. Right. And so like we working out, I'm on a bike, I'm on a treadmill and eating little. And so it shrink the body and then the skin hanging off the body. And you're like, I don't know how to get rid. And you really just needed to lift weights and eat. And run and lift weights and eat and then run and lift weights.
So many gimmicks out
here. It's
such
a simple thing, like you don't even. And then it's tough too. So I like going to Planet Fitness. You know what I mean? But I think that there is something there that is completely destroying people. Is the whole thing about not helping people do things the right way. And
I've been kicked out of that plenty of times for water.
Really? Man,
a jump
for
rope.
Water.
The last time was a jump rope.
Know?
They told you had to leave?
Well, they said to put that in the car or leave, I couldn't jump rope in there. I'm like, what?
It's really interesting what they cut off. The water thing, the gallon thing.
It's intimidating to others.
Right. It's really intense to make it that way, but they're really just marketing to people who are not into health at all. Yeah. Who just to come in and try. Yeah. So I get all that stuff, but it's like I seen a dude in there, man. I had to watch myself because I was like, bro. Like it was like he grabbed the cables, you know what I mean? People use for chest. Man, this dude grabbed one, his arms back like this, and went like that. I was like,
I could kill it.
Your shoulders are going. I mean, man. And then he's walking like, walking. I was like, oh no, like you know what I'm saying?
He just did one. He just had to get one. So made him feel like a man.
I think
I want to do it now.
People are so gullible. In a certain kind of way,
and want weight loss really fast, and I know that
because they want to hurry up and go back to what they were doing before,
and it's not a fast thing.
Yeah,
it's not fast
supposed
at all.
to be.
Looks good today, then go back to what you're doing.
It takes 4 to 7 years
changing your lifestyle altogether
to really truly change your body. It takes. I mean, your body grows, and cell death is a process. Just like human death. The body just continually regenerate cells, and then when you stop building muscle, then those cells that are regenerating aren't being built in the environment of production, and so you create a whole lot of cell tissue that is not reliable. The best way to put it, and so like we generally need it. So anyway, another big myth is the whole carb thing, that all carbs make you fat. Like you got people like, oh yeah, from my personal experience, when I eat fruit, I feel like no, that's the fiber you're feeling. It's in your stomach and it's moving things through. Like that's what you're feeling. Then after it goes, your stomach goes down smaller. And especially if you exercise, and people think that they want to lose weight without the exercise side, and that's crazy because your body's just going to get weaker, and they wonder why they get injured and I had to stop because I sprained my ankle real. Yes, you sprained your ankle because you didn't have any nutrition in your body at all. Like your body was weak and your your whole system is trying to find calories in your muscle tissue now.
So carbs are important.
Extremely important.
And fat.
You need them
Most
in order
people-
to use the protein.
Most
Keep
people stay
going.
away from fat too, and fat is something that the body need. It's like an oil; it oils your joints and stuff up, and people are so scared now. The fat that they want is the fat that they don't need, which is the chips, the pies, the cakes,
And
the fried
pouring oil.
foods, and all that. It's avocado, maybe chia seeds, flax, regular oil, olive oil. They can get it from that type of stuff, but the fat, and you should have it with every meal. You shouldn't avoid it at all. So most people stay away from it because they figure, well, if I get fat, I'm going to be fat, or get fat, I'm going to, no, you
All
need
the
fat.
market. It's the market, man. Food, they market people to think of things that way.
And I was once that person, I stayed away from that type of stuff, and I realized how important the fat and carbs were. Now, it's the bad carbs that you don't need, them cakes and pies and ho-hos and ding-dongs, that we don't
What
need.
you mean, bro? What you mean, bro?
Yeah,
That's
and
not
all
my
that
world. I'm not a big cake and pie.
Learn the
guy.
moderation. Learn the moderation.
Yeah,
Just
so-
learn the moderation.
Debbie got
You
a
know what I
hold
mean?
on me, man.
Learn
Then
the
your palate
moderation.
probably need to be washed.
Like
Probably.
if you do it like once
Once a
I'll
week
do
or
it
so.
once
I probably
every-
get a cake a week, maybe
Really?
two,
That's okay.
maybe 2 cakes a week. On
not
I
Saturday,
will
big
say
cake,
you
just
don't
little
eat
cakes.
cakes like you used
And
to.
you
gas station ones,
Little
the little 2 for the 2 for
And you
50
work out.
cent. Yeah,
that helps. Yeah, that helps. It keeps it, but it's the chemical process in there though that over time becomes a real negative thing that a lot of people ignore. The toxicity of your consumption is like here compared to all the rest of this stuff. Water probably is the number one thing, but the toxicity content is really huge. You may not notice it when you're younger, and then as soon as you get near 40, it all hits you. It hits you all at one time. And younger folks are like, it's been working fine all along.
Yeah.
Like, nah, actually, you've been ignoring what's been changing you. Because, like you can be shredded. I mean, man, I was stupid when I was 23, man. I was like, abs and stuff. I was like 235, 232, something like that. 49-inch vert, just crazy.
Yeah.
And I can't work out like that no matter how hard I try.
Yeah.
I've done crazy stuff, but I can't do that way because it isn't even productive at all. Making your muscles bigger is cool, but I'm not ever trying to hurt my body at all. Like, they're like, well, if you get hurt, it's just trying. Nah, man. No, that's not it. It'll alter the course of your life. People will break an ankle and gain 45 pounds during that,
Just on
35
that sit
pounds,
down
just from that
time.
sitting time, and then can't get back in shape, and your whole life turns in a direction. So like the health thing is more than just that. It's like toxicity, it's hydration, it's your nutritional compound, it's whether or not you stretch to give your body the chance to distribute
And
nutrients properly
sleep.
and move
You stole it from
properly.
me. I was sitting on it.
And
Or sleep.
Yeah,
sleep is so essential.
So sleep is just as important. That's
That's when your body
Man,
repair.
talk to us.
So a lot of people have sleeping problems because they don't know that they're not supposed to eat or drink within 4 hours of bed.
Okay.
So that alone will, like, after doing it for a while, will help people to balance their sleep if they're struggling with sleep.
So I normally have my last meal like around 5 or 6.
Yeah. So your metabolism can stop, can go to rest. If you do eat or drink during that time frame, it's still going, and then your sleep isn't as deep, and your muscles do not
Waking
get the
up,
time
man, I
to
know,
actually heal.
for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's good information.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm smashing that night, bro.
Ooh, then lay
And
down
I'll
on
wake
the-
up.
Watch, you'll grow. You will get, man, everything changes. As soon as you do, like, bro, I got energy.
And I
this
start
morning,
eating
like,
really
all
early at
kinds of stuff.
4:30 in the morning. I start eating 4:35.
Yeah, so in the
So
morning.
maybe that's what I need to
It's
start
hard for me
doing.
to
Start
eat in the
early.
morning.
I don't.
Well,
like
see, I
that.
start
Is that
training
hard
it
for you to
early,
eat
so
in the
I go through the door with beet juice in my hand. So I'm not physically chewing anything, but I'm drinking,
just
some
something.
type of something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starting
And with hemp
metabolism
protein
before you
in
get
it and
there.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm drinking it through my whole workout.
Okay.
In the morning, I do different stuff different days. I'm a real ADHD guy. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot do the same stuff over and over and over again.
Like me.
I've catered my life.
I told you.
I've catered my life to it.
That's why we get along so
Learn.
well. He
Yeah, it's
understands.
Yeah,
It's
see,
just-
I'm the one that can. I can drink
Yeah.
the same
Yeah,
beet
that's what I'm
juice
saying. Yeah,
every
I'm
single
totally
Like
day.
Yeah.
your diet
It's out of
drives me it's beautiful.
It's because of your addiction to.
No, I like the food she eats. It's the belief that that's all I'm going to eat every day for
Your
that week.
addiction to the pattern of consuming new things constantly.
Yes,
I
and my
That's
thing
that.
is,
So
I am
don't-
addicted to
I'm
that.
not.
That is true.
I can care less about. It's almost like it's food. I don't get happy about it. I'm not. I don't dislike
Stay
it. I
your
love
food
it.
been best friend
But
for
it's
a
just
long
it's
time.
fuel. It's like
It's a
my
bad
gas.
friend.
You just eat it and move on in life. And then my joy come from doing things, these extracurricular activities. It has nothing to do with food. It's hiking and visiting people and going out to different
I like
events.
both.
That's the difference. That's what I like to be different in. And that
need to be
food is just food. As long as
I'll
I'm
be
getting the
fine
good
with
stuff,
that,
I'm
like
good.
eating the same thing.
I would
Yeah.
say get all the stuff you need first,
Yeah.
and then get the stuff you want
Figure you want to
on
know.
occasion. Get all the things you need first. Like if you're a meat eater, is a good way to do it is just to avoid the processed meats. Why do you need a burger when you can have a steak? Why do you? Because to be honest with you, a burger is just lungs, kidneys, vaginas, pancreas, eyes,
mixed in
brains, scraped out
Get
at
your
the
lean
end.
steak and get
All
some
mixed
All
in
it
one,
is,
yeah.
it's all it is, and it's like a million of them, all ground up
Seasoning
into a
on
thing,
it.
and then we I'm saying a million chickens, like all year long in one vat, like in a factory, and they just in a machine, you know what I mean? And you eat, and they add fillers and stuff to it. Every single drop of their stress is in that too. That's another thing too.
Yeah.
Everything that an animal experiences hormonally before its death is a part of the flesh itself.
And then you're eating it.
All of it. The adrenaline,
Yeah.
the fear, the suffering, the cortisol, the stress hormones are all in that flesh, and we're wondering why are we so angry?
Why we so this?
Why are the vegetarians so peaceful? You know what I'm saying? Like you never notice why they're so equated with like, hey guys, we just want to get along. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
right.
It's
But
not
that's the
like it's
stigma,
not the norm, it's the
though.
stigma. But
Yeah.
why is that though? Think about it. Why isn't the one who's eating the steak the one that's doing that?
But you don't think about that though.
It's
You
the
really
whole
don't, bro.
subject, man. We're like
That's crazy.
actually supposed
You
to
don't
be
think
closer
about
to
because
the
you're
bush.
right. Like they do go through all these emotions and stuff. Of course, before they die.
So sausages and bratwurst and Italian sausages and what they call them?
Yeah, man. If you want to deep throat that death, go
No,
ahead.
I'm
But-
just saying that for people I know. Well, I know that's their.
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
Yeah. It's just one of the things you kind of have to like. So the plant-based way would be the better way because you're not getting all of the hormones. Because like people go, oh, it's just processed, it's plants. No, you're all right.
Yeah.
Keep eating that estrogen. Keep eating that cholesterol. Keep eating that the estrogen. Keep eating the adrenaline. Keep eating the cortisol. Keep eating the bacteria. And then they say, oh, the bacteria is dead. Yes, you will have a filling up of dead bacteria until you have what we think of as a cold, when your body's like, get it all out. And you have a flu. You have all the weakness of your, the strength and weakness of your, again, I'm gonna refer to it again, the gut flora. It depends on, it is that subject. So like, eating all that junk and you're like, I don't know where it came from. Nobody around me was sick.
Yeah.
Or I get the same illness every year, the same year. Like, oh, for real, every year, yeah, it's normal. It's always in September. It lasts like 3 weeks. Last year, it's like, all right.
Wow.
That's not normal,
That
bro.
food
You're
is
not
live food.
supposed to
I used
go
to
through
get a
that.
sinus infection twice a year regularly.
The same time. It's your
Yeah.
body like, nah, man, you have too much bad bacteria.
Understood.
And
now.
so that's why a sinus infection requires antibiotics. And then people take antibiotics
Which
over
is-
periods of time, which is terrible because it kills and damages your
Your
gut
good
flora,
bacteria.
your good bacteria, which puts you at a disadvantage, which can all completely be changed if you just eat fruits and vegetables and drink water.
I tell people
That's it.
diet can do two things for you. You can travel down two paths. It can either kill you or heal you. You take the path that you want.
Yeah. And the crazy part is like there's so many fit people who like have proved it too. Like
Yeah.
crazy fit and dropped. Like
Yeah.
and I loved a couple of them too, like a lot, like really close to them. And one dude I used to argue with all the time, love this dude, and local guy, and he passed not too long ago. I mean, he had his world in bodybuilding and all that, drying out and all of that stuff for years and years. But man, it was tough seeing him die. He was like the most fit looking guy around, and that is not. And we don't understand how much our choices affect our bodies. So stroke, heart disease, diabetes, man, asthma, like all of these things are all related. Arthritis before it alters the shape of your joints, like so many things are related to that subject. So like it starts there, you know, like people need to know these things. Like they need to know them. And there's so many older people who get it and younger people don't care because it doesn't bother them because they have such young systems and they're still hydrated from their birth. Because, you know, when you're a baby, man, you could drop a baby accidentally out a window and they won't get hurt. You know what I mean? Like they're fully hydrated. Right. And when humans are fully hydrated, it's the likelihood of injury is like slim to none, you know? So that's really kind of like, that's it.
Yeah.
You get it. You know, that's the philosophy too.
When you're as busy as both, that's really dope.
No, it is.
And I jumped, but I really want to make sure I said it. That's really dope. And it's nice to be able to bring this type of information on this type of platform where people, you know, a younger generation can see and maybe possibly pass it on to an older generation.
Hell, around here,
yeah,
a lot of this ain't taught to us, bro.
At all.
Like, at all.
At all.
I ain't heard some of this shit he said.
You go to the north side of Chicago, you'll find a few people out there talking like that. You go to Phoenix, you go to Houston, you go, you know, big cities, they got that stuff. And like we're trying to bring it here. Since I started my business, whether the folks get along with me now or not, I've done nothing but imbue people with this. Like it was just like, hey, take this, please do something with this. You know, every one of them. I got a good group of young people who would drop everything and come and join us right now if I was able to get them in and be able to have them as trainers. But we're trying to do this the smart way instead of like just trying to gut people for their funds. I'd rather offer this as a service like to the whole community. You know? Right. I'm looking for a couple of schools, you know, or one school that would like to use my services. I don't even need the high schools. I'll take the middle schools, you know. Girls, you know, like through their developmental stages. A school will have them lifting with the boys without ever sending them through a hip protocol to help them as their bodies develop, to help develop their hips and make them strong. And they use this hinge movement, but don't even know whether or not the kids' ankles are on the same balance. You know, there's so much to this. You know, so we working on it one day at a time.
For sure,
Where do you see your business in 10 years?
In 10 years. I don't know, hopefully opening up more locations and being able to offer more than what I'm offering now.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about where I will be at 10 years from now.
5 years.
Not even 5 years, but tomorrow I'll be open from 8:30 to 6.
I love that. I'll be here at 4 p.m.
8:30 to 6, early waiting on you. But I try not to jump that far ahead. I just try to live within my day, and cause I don't know what 10 years look like.
Yeah. You take on a lot. Well, and I don't mean that negatively. I mean it like empowering wise. Yeah. Like as long as I've known you, it's like I got this goal, but I also got this goal. But I kind of see this goal in the future. Yeah. So once I finish one of these goals down here, I'm gonna grab that goal. And they're like light bulbs for you in a socket. Yeah. They're constantly in the change, but you always had a light going.
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
If the next goal would be out of the mall into the community and opening with more hours and earlier hours and closing a little earlier and open 7 days a week opposed to 6. I don't know. Hopefully, I do have more locations. That's all I can see 10 years from now. But I don't know what Essential Smoothies is, where it's gonna be at and what's gonna happen. I just know I'm open to everything. So
definitely open tomorrow.
Oh yeah, 8:30 to 6, Monday through Saturday. I'll be here.
What about you, Kris?
Well, I would say I would like to have a facility in at least 4 different states, and each of them serving some sort of a community that needs it, you know, and staffed by people that I trained up, and then have a fully confirmed certification that people apply for and are capable of using to open up gyms under my method that I like to teach. And for schools to use what I do across the country.
That's love.
Oh, God.
So,
that's definitely love.
I want that.
I definitely could see that. So, my computer just went out, but mentees, what do you guys think, being that you have so much knowledge, and like we said, shout out to Nico. Nico's mentor told him that you can't hold it in. You gotta give it out to the world. How do you guys view the ideal of it? Do you have mentors? Do you have mentors? Do you have mentees?
I don't have one person that I look up to. It's everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. I learn something from everybody. Everybody that crosses my path, there's a reason why they cross. And for me, I take in what I can when I cross paths with people. Kris, I would say, is definitely one of them. I look up to him a lot, and he has connected me to so many people. Yeah. And I'm just never closed off. I'm always open, because even the ones that people think that you can't learn from, you can.
Man, you learn from the most crazy people.
And children is something, it's people that you can really, the little ones, they can teach you a lot. Yeah. They can teach you a lot. So I don't have not one person. It's many.
Plethora of people for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had I think mentor is like a thing that is a term that people use when you get to physically, personally have that person, you know. But I think like for me, I had to create a way to learn from people, because I couldn't access people. Okay. You know, who could, there just wasn't like people to guide well in our area, you know.
Right.
And so like I just like really got into learning about like philosophies and religions. Okay. And reading what people wrote about them and stuff, and understand people through them. And then as I got older into it, people just started popping up, man. Yeah. And so I got a good group. I named from Dr. Vanda Hyde, Dr. Jarika, Jojo Sason, John Vaught, this old martial arts dude back in the days. He was cold. He put me in my place. I didn't understand how average I really was. You know, we had different, you know, people over the years. This dude, Tankson, he was a great, he still is great teacher. And he had a spot down the street in our hood in the south side of Chicago. And we couldn't afford classes or anything, but he would let us come in on occasion. Big, strong brother, like shake your hand, break your hand, you know. And so things like I would say the subject mentor is like really just like trying to find people that are not trying to take something from you that you need, or something that would require you stripping your dignity, or embarrassing yourself, and they're just literally just handing you something to help you on your way. And so like there are people out there who did that in books, you know. And so I got a lot of my mentorship from books. Okay. Yeah, it's intense. And so like I never shunned or stepped away from anybody who seemed like they needed to talk, you know. And I seem to have a kind of a knack for attracting people who like are at a stage, you know, where they know that tomorrow needs to be different from yesterday. And so I spend a lot of time, you know, I give folks books. A lot of my books are gone because people didn't replace them.
Take them and bring them back.
Yeah, I'd be buying them again, you know, and I'd read this one. It would take one of them. They were like, oh my God, I'm about to go and do this thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it just people need inspiration to start. But the problem is that they depend on inspiration, and you're not supposed to depend on that. You're supposed to depend on consistency. But yeah, mentorship is like, it's the only way. And I think that the reason that we use the word is because our manufactured country left a whole lot of people without a culture that involved a graduation system through maturation that a lot of cultures already have. And so we don't have like the mentor or the adult who is supposed to take you to go and learn these things. We don't have like this adult who's meant for that. And so we're lost without that. And so certain people who were made to do that, they don't mind helping, and we end up actually finding each other, even though we haven't been taught the culture. You know, it's really natural for us to need somebody to guide, and humans need humans. And as the further away we are from each other, we think that we'd all enjoy being away from humans, but the only thing you'll do is just struggle physically, and you would lose it. You'd lose it mentally. Yeah, we're one organism. You know, whether people like to pin race on folks or pin religions on folks or political backgrounds, the reason why the aliens haven't spoken to us yet is because we kill each other.
Ain't got to come down.
They're like, whoa, slow down. This species still kills itself.
Right, we don't have
back
to do
up.
nothing.
They might go around and kill us.
Right, they're like, nah, because they know if they show themselves, apparently, you know, they're real according to the government. If they show themselves, they know they're gonna kill them. They watch our movies. I'm sure, like, oh no, I saw that. We're gonna cut us open. They're gonna experiment on this. They're gonna kill us first and ask questions later. Humans are wildly aggressive species, bro. Wild, and then the crazy part is the people who are not like that are the ones with the culture. The ones who have like a structured culture where they like build each other up. And so I to be honest with you, that's what my business is. I built that. I try to build that. Whether they like me or not, I like. This is a graduation stage. All my kids see it coming. They're like, oh, he's about to do it. You know what I mean? And they're like, yeah. Now you can lift weights. Oh, you know, and we all celebrate. You know, they're from that stage. Lifting weights is still lightweight lifting. You know, I have a meditation room back there. Young kids are not allowed to use it. They know about it, and they know, when can I use it? When you're old enough to understand that you need it. You know, and my high school kids, I have about 6 of them that use it. And there's like stage, you know, we need that. People, and the kids who get in here and they're here long enough, they're like, man, I need to get to that stage. You know what I mean? I need that stage. Dude can dunk, and he is 5, 6, and 8th grade. And this little chubby boy, can I do that? And then the kid turns around like, I look just like you when I started with them. It was dope seeing that. I was like, yes.
Turn their whole mind.
Say it again. You know what I mean? You know, and it works. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't know it because they're so scared to walk in the door. I don't want to name any names, but there's some really significant people in town who stay in the hallway because they're afraid to walk in the doors, you know?
Shout out to the people who stand in the hallway. When I get your names, we're going to have you at the bottom of the show.
You know, it's tough. The fear of transcending from not creating muscle to creating it is massive.
It's a whole life
giant fear.
Change.
And most people didn't play sports. So they're already at a
disadvantage.
Because they don't have that kind of structural muscle that they're not young. And what I offer is the ability to turn your body into that naturally. So that's why I need more exposure, you know? I need to get out here, you know, because like what I do doesn't exist.
That's what we're trying to do. Absolutely.
Not, you know, everybody's like, lose weight real fast. You want to hear that, don't you? You know, like take these sups, take all these pills.
People are so quick to grasp the myths about what's the easy and quickest way. And I have to tell people about my cleanses. Most people try to come in and do the cleanse for that reason, but it's not for that. It's not designed for a quick 5 or 7 pound weight loss. You got to come in at a different angle with that.
I just remember why I started cleansing, and it was you. Remember your first 21-day cleanse?
Yeah, I did 21 days. I did that for a mental cleanse. It wasn't for the physical. It wasn't for me to lose weight, but it was more mental. It was no cell phone, no TV, 21 days of juicing, and it changed my life. It did.
It definitely opens you up mentally.
Whatever I was dealing with in 21 days, I had to face it head on.
Oh, God.
No,
for sure.
You know,
Before we leave mentorship, I just want to say, as somebody who's extremely hard-headed, right? I know who I am. You got to own up to who you are, right? I think mentorship is so important because there are some of us, and I'm speaking from self, who not only learn from example, but we learn from things that are said in a way for us to absorb it. And it's not intentional. So you may say something, and I hear it, and it sounds good, but then turn around, he says the same thing, but in a different light. And he's notorious for doing this. So how you guys are jumping on me and saying, he says the same things. But as I light up for y'all because y'all know how to say it to me, right? Because we've been dealing with each other in this part of the health, and you've seen the struggles, it's different, right? So to me, I think mentorship is beautiful in that way. And sometimes you don't realize that you're meant to be a temporary mentor. Just come in, give them what they need in that moment and go away. And sometimes you have people you got for life. Like, he can't get rid of me if he tried. You know what I mean? So I think it's a beautiful thing. And because both of you are awesome mentors, you as well, I just wanted to make sure we brought that to the forefront. So anybody who need a mentor, look up Broke Dusty. He can take on some folks.
Call me, man. To piggyback what you said though, for people who look at you as mentors, it's always good to learn from people too. The stuff y'all saying, I don't know none of that stuff. So it's good for people like us who not on that level to learn from y'all too, so we can help people.
Right.
And I can get help too, because you're never too old or too knowledgeable to not keep learning. So,
and everybody's on a different level. Everybody's on a different level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the fear is the thing that's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm afraid of looking and feeling better than I've ever done in my life. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what you're saying. Like, I'm afraid of having the most confidence and believing myself more than ever in my life.
Don't be the thoughts though. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what it's saying.
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
I'm afraid of getting rid of all these pains. I'm afraid of feeling better. I'm afraid of getting off these pills. For real?
And then if you could just help them get over that hump so they can see. And that's the hardest part. But what I've learned to do is just stand back and if they want it, they'll come. You know, 'cause you can't really force them until they're ready.
Shoot, folks feel like you forcing them just by just doing what you're doing.
Checking
Right,
up on
being
them.
yourself.
Yeah.
Just being like,
Being
I'd rather
yourself.
be
Say
that. I'm
though.
eating healthy.
Yeah.
Folks like, you just walk in like, hey, how's it going?
You're like, I didn't even do nothing
I
to
ain't
you.
saying
had
nothing
these
to you,
chips.
bro.
Ain't
I was grocery shopping. I turned the aisle and the lady was like, she's in front of her cart and she was like, like that. I was like, hey,
You.
But it's the impact though.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I ain't say a word
You're
about
taking
it.
care of
Yeah.
it. You're right.
You know what
That's
I mean?
powerful.
I've never,
Right, sometimes
I've
you
never
don't
even
gotta say
posted
nothing.
anything
Yeah.
judging how
Yeah.
people.
Man.
Y'all eat bad. I don't do none of that, brother. I don't do any of
But
it.
like I
I
said,
just,
just
I
share
think
you-
the life,
share your
yeah,
truth.
when you share
Except
your
me,
stuff,
when I post food, Chris come through real fast.
yeah.
Where's this?
I don't want
Where's
them-
that?
'cause I don't
Where's
want them
this?
to be nutritionally incomplete.
Yeah.
Like I like if you sit and eat a meal, if you post something like
He
that,
said,
I'm gonna
"Where's
say
your
something.
Oh
he said
yeah.
something- where was
Look,
it?
What
Lagoons,
was,
he had
what
no
was that
protein
sauce
in it.
made of? Notice I
No
ignored that
protein.
question. And he said, "Where's your protein in here?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
should put some quinoa on in
Yeah,
it.
something.
I
Some
should
beans
have
and lentils.
used the edamame. That made sense.
Edamame?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
But that's
anime.
what I should have used. Edamame.
yeah.
Correct me on my show.
Shout out to the anime.
That's what I use.
Or get mukimame. It doesn't have the pods. You can just pop it right into it.
See, I should have done that. Had more of an Asian bean to go with the meal.
Sure, yeah, it works.
And it would have worked in my mind.
Well, it looked good.
For my
It
need
really
to
did.
have
Because you're
different.
weird with your mind.
I am, man.
This is Matt.
I
He
try
keep
not to
playing.
stay
Trying
in
to
there,
kill
but
us,
it gets me. So you said fear. What's your biggest fear?
That my daughter will not be okay in some way, or my wife will be harmed in some way.
Those are easy fears.
Yeah. So
Shout
what
out to the
For real.
missus and the baby.
Yeah.
Why only-
She ain't no baby. She a freshman at
She
UNLV.
should be a baby.
Still, though.
Look, the
Yeah.
first time I met her, bro, her job here, when I first met Kris, the first time I met her, right? Her job was if you said I can't, you had to do 20,
Oh,
20
God, I
push-ups.
love
10
it.
Yeah.
push-ups.
10 push-ups.
Hell yeah.
She
Bro.
would, she would walk around and listen to
But
people.
I didn't
say,
know
like,
this.
You said it.
Hey, bro, that's bro, I ended up doing like
And
60
she got
push-ups
paid
that day.
for it too.
I love it though.
I said, she said,
love
that
it,
counts.
bro.
You
I
said
love
it.
Yeah, because you got to stop that
She's
shit.
like, I got 4 people today. All right, we can go get
You got to
some.
stop
know
that
what I'm saying?
shit. Early.
Yeah,
Right.
she used to get
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
For
she's-
sure, I
yeah,
love
but that's like it's the fear, man. It's so heavy because like you'll sit in your mind everything that a human thinks. They think it's okay to think it, and we have to back up and realize often we are the most poisonous things
To
to
yourself.
ourselves.
Definitely say I'm my worst
yourself.
enemy.
Like
Yeah.
for real, you sit and
Nobody
convince
can get me.
yourself why you shouldn't get up and
Like
go
me.
get this workout in,
Right.
Yeah.
while on all these meds. You know what I
Right.
mean? You'll like convince yourself it's all right to sit and look at this dude's wife. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
your mind. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people are like really, what's the word? Are they sloppy with their minds? You know what I mean? And I don't mean to sound like I'm judging, but it's just what we are all like. You know, I used to break people off, bro. I got stolen a couple times, and I was like, "Man, I'm about to start busting
Yeah.
this ass." You know what I mean? Like I started busting.
Yeah,
people.
no
Man,
control.
a lot of people can't stand me because of those days. A lot of people, but it's because I didn't have any sort of care for myself in my stage. So like in my younger stages. So like we all have our own way that we're doing it. You know what I mean? And you're not supposed to just not enjoy your life. You should enjoy some of this stuff on occasion. Absolutely, you should. But the problem is that we're like, I'm an adult. I can do it every day because I can't nobody tell me what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know a dude. Love this dude. He eats ice cream every night. Every night.
Shout out to the dude that ice cream every night.
Every night.
Get his name
Night.
too.
And then was trying to get him to lose weight without cutting that out. And I was like, well, not to say too much, just, you got a lot of things going on, like this thing right here that you said you've been doing for this, more than a decade is the thing that you've been doing. You said you haven't been drinking that much, you don't really eat fast food like that. You just have ice cream every night. How much of it do you have? Open the freezer, grab down one of the little Ben and Jerry things.
Yeah.
One of these. It's like, hey man, I gotta talk to you, bro. And he never talked to me again. We were pretty tight, It was really intense, like how people are about their
vices,
attachments to the vices, you know?
Yeah.
And like, and then they'll be like, well, you don't get it. And I'm like, man, I used to smoke too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to smoke squares like a mug, like a lot, like a whole pack of Black and Milds. I'd freak all of them when I bought. I'd sit down and freak all of them and put them carefully back in. And whenever I opened them, so I always tore off the end so I wouldn't accidentally pull the thing out without the plastic wrapper with it, so because it'll dump out if you did.
Professional Black and Milds.
And then I'd finish all those and then start smoking either menthol lights, Marlboro menthol lights, or Newports. That was life. Black and Milds and cigarettes and Jack on the Rocks.
I know
right?
that's
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, bro, and then I was like, I could do this because I'm me. I'm unstoppable. You know what I mean? I threw a dude over a fence. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like crazy aggressive. And I enduring some like real trauma in my mind. You know what I mean? So like,
no, but it's good to hear though, man, because a lot of time you do go through stuff to get you like that. And a lot of people keep being that, and it turned out different. So to see you here, bro, like that's major in itself.
You'd be surprised, bro. It's like a whole other ball game, man. That was a problem, brother. Like, I did some bad things in my days.
Glad you ain't doing it no more.
We're gonna bring you back for the bad days on another show.
Another time for another show.
Man. All the people Kris needed hurt.
Man, I had a dude, he like flew 10 feet. And it was crazy. And I realized like, oh, I'm strong. You know what I mean? Yeah. I had like a 48, 49 inch vert. I mean, like standing under the rim, jump straight up. Like that, like straight up off the ground. You know what I mean? Like stupid athleticism. So and then I'm training. The people who knew me from Riverdale I used to walk down the street after I was like 15. I used to walk down the street with dumbbells rolling, just ready for like walking down the street, bro, just ready for action all the time. Because like it was such a really difficult situation. I had already come from a really hard situation and then moved to another hard situation. Then on top of our hard situation, I had to deal with the people. You know what I mean? You like got to process it. When you've seen death a couple times, like people don't really think that you're supposed to get therapy. You are. You have to. If you've seen death, you have got to go and get therapy.
Or you start a podcast.
Man.
Yeah. This ain't a podcast. This is a show.
You got to talk about it. You got to talk about it. You got to talk so people can tell you, like, hey, those thoughts, those are not okay.
Right.
You got to be like, whoa, you got to think about that again. Do you really want to think? You know what I mean? And it's really intense. So, like, it changed. But, man, training changed my life, bro. Watching death in my family changed my life, you know. And illness and sickness, watching my grandmother go through diabetes and heart disease and lung cancer all at the same time. You know what I mean? I loved chitlins. I loved them because my grandmother used to put her foot in them. That's probably what I'm most scared of. I used to love chitlins, but she made the best chitlins, the best everything. Greens, all that with the hog maws and all that. I used to eat pig ears.
You had your hot sauce.
You ever have hog head cheese? Oh, I eat hot sauce.
I did with the sauce.
We used to make that.
Hog head cheese, bro. Like,
straight from Ben. Shout out to Ben's. They used to make that all the time.
I used to eat it all.
With the crackers?
The pig feet. I used to eat pig feet. You know, pick it through and get little pieces and suck out the little pieces of meat.
Man, my grandma.
Can we please quit talking about this?
So good.
This is
I used to love that stuff, but now like I can't.
To the stove.
Yeah. I used to go to Moo and Oink. We used to,
the smell of Moo and Oink was the worst.
So the blood on the floor, you know. But it's just it's a switch, man. Like you like turn it on. It's just like being a single dude who's out there wilding out, and then you meet that one girl that like really clink. You like, oh no, dog, I'm not going.
I gotta start switching.
What you mean you're not going?
You
go every Thursday, dog.
Not this Thursday.
I'm just chilling Thursday.
Bro, I'm gonna catch you
and then
on
sounding all calm on the phone.
I'm gonna catch you on another one.
That first Thursday, you be like, all right. That second Thursday, you like, man, who is she, bro? Because you've been ditching us the whole time.
It's because she brought something that was really worthwhile in comparison to what you were doing. Sure. I don't think people know the worthwhile part. They don't know how good it feels to be without the pain. To not be afraid of what the camera is showing in the picture.
For real.
You know what I mean? Like, whoa, don't let me see that picture. Like that thing, you know, address that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just respect it like it's your God. You know what I mean? Like it's keeping you in a space where you don't feel your best.
Be complacent.
And this is the one time you get to be this self, and that's the one body this you are has ever been given. Right. As far as you know. You know what I mean? Like, what in the world are you doing with this time? You know, like there's a woman I had as a client for a while, incredible person, absolutely incredible person, and her husband passed away. And while she was training with me leading up to that point, she was talking about it the entire time. Entire time, man, like he is not gonna live long doing this. You can hear it in his lungs. And then he had a heart attack and died. In the early 50s. And you know, like, and now she's happily in love. And it took some years for that to take place. And that dude, and I'm sorry, I don't want to see my wife without me in love with some other dude.
All because of something I didn't
because I
want to
could
do.
have done better. You know
So
what I'm
this
saying?
is another fear.
It's like no, it's not a fear. It's like I'm not stupid enough to put myself in that position, and that's how I talk to myself. I'm really rude to myself. I don't sugarcoat anything.
for real.
You know, like maybe to
Get your ass up and go to the gym, bro.
Get up.
That's his slogan.
Get your ass up and go to the gym.
It's a public service announcement.
Yeah, man. I'm like, I'm not one of those people. Nope. That sugarcoating stuff is the problem. You know,
that's going
to myself. But there are people who can't handle that, so I can't use that.
You can't use it all the time, right?
But that's
to yourself, hell
to
yeah.
myself, I'm like super rude, bro. Like nobody would ever accept being talked to the way that I talk to myself.
But you got to.
You kind of talk to me that way.
Man, you got to.
No, I don't. I'm telling you, no, I don't.
No, you know, it just sounded good to say it
I
that
was
moment.
screaming at myself, man. Like one time I was on a run. I told myself I was going to do 3 miles, and I was like not feeling it because it was a party the night before. We were in Chicago, and we were out until like 3 a.m. And I run at 7:30. So like, and I'm like dead, and I was like, I can't. I'll just run a mile. I'm running the mile, and I finished the mile feeling like crap, and turned around and walked, and I was like, stop being a bitch.
Oh God.
And then turned into 5 miles. Like, kid, stop that shit. Like, I don't care how you feel. This is what you need. And then at the end of it, I was like,
I'm good.
Man, I'm glad I did that. You know what I mean? It was like all the struggle was gone. I'm drinking the water. I'm like, man, I'm about to go do some. You know what I mean?
But
And that's what
initial,
people are missing. That they
initial,
don't even know like that's there because they don't get enough water and they don't get enough produce and they don't get enough like preparation for the exercise. They just go, I'm gonna do it, and they bring a little water bottle, hadn't eaten anything for breakfast, and they wonder why they feel like crap, and then they blame the whole workout. And not knowing that it's preparation.
Blame the whole gym.
So that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like I want to get that out. Like people need to know you have to prepare yourself for a workout.
Tell them again.
You have to prepare yourself for a workout. The hydration the day before, the dinner you ate the day before, the breakfast you have in the morning, the water you had the day before, the water you had in the morning. All of those things are like all hand in hand with proper preparation, like or failing. Like there's no way around it. And if you teach yourself how to be accustomed with doing it in a way that isn't productive, unproductive things happen that get in the way. So I know like a lot of people love that keto diet, and it's like tearing through people's lives right now. And I know too many people right now that are going through practice the diets to T, and they don't know like the people who do it well are people whose genetic susceptibility is different from yours. You know, a lot of us are not capable of handling it, are more susceptible for cancer and things like that. You can't have that toxicity. You can't just have a bunch of butter and a bunch of burgers and stuff.
And then they're doing it with the wrong fats. I think if they can do it with the right fats, it will be
nuts,
better.
avocados, and real. But the problem is that people
can
don't.
Live off that.
It's not pleasure. There's not a pleasure to that. You know what I mean? Like, it's pleasure to me. I love guacamole.
Yeah.
I do too.
Man, bro.
I can literally live off a high-fat diet.
For a long
But you know what?
yeah,
I know a guy. He's not here now. I don't know if you know Elijah. Elijah died probably about a year ago.
Yeah, the rapper Elijah.
He was vegan, but his source of burning was fat. So he ate, and I work with him. He ate tons of nuts. Now I said him 2 or 3 pounds of nuts, but thin and healthy, and so you can use fat as your burning source. You can switch both carbs and fat. You can do both. It's just the bad fats and the bad carbs. You can't do both. The ketos, most people are doing cheese, bacon, hamburger. I don't know what they're doing, but it ain't the right fats most times.
It's not.
It's not.
Because people are so.
I've tried to say something.
Stuck on their addictions. You know what I mean? Like you can make a whole chicken,
and you will lose, but as soon as you come off of it,
bro,
you're just gonna gain it back.
Or even while you're on it, something can develop, and there's a lot of that. I don't know.
Very high cholesterol.
Something's wrong with my digestion, and my stomach's been bothering me. Going in, come back like, so I've got a growth, like, and it's consistent too. Like high cholesterol. Like I have to apparently stop my diet because I have high cholesterol. It's like, well, what diet are we doing? Keto. I know you don't agree with it. Like, no, your doctor doesn't agree with it. You know what I mean? Like, there's enormous amounts of proof because people really are not built genetically to be able to do that. They do that talk about the old unevolved humans used to do that diet. Yeah, because there wasn't nothing available.
Right. And they only ate like that while there was nothing available. When things became available, they quit doing that.
Yeah, it's a defense mechanism. Why would you put your body in a position to be in a defense mechanism 24/7?
Yeah.
That's a defense mechanism. And then to say, well, you drink coffee for breakfast. Like, what in the world does your body have to gain from coffee? Name something. What does it have to gain from coffee that you couldn't get from fruits and water? Like, it's intense. Vegetables, you know what I mean?
Tea.
Tea is cool, you know. It just depends on the kind of tea it is, you know. That caffeine addiction is a real demon, you know, people, but try to stay away from caffeine as much as possible. Nothing that you consume should never make you have a headache when you're just being yourself without it.
For sure.
Nothing. I've never stopped eating asparagus and then suddenly got a headache because I haven't had asparagus.
For sure.
So
I'm with it. So one thing we really big on here is we like to talk about relationships with parents and how that compares to your relationship with your children. So I know that both of you already said that you have children. We know he wants 8.
Yeah.
He's 2 in. So how was your relationship with your parents?
I didn't have a very good relationship with my mom and father. I wasn't even raised by my mother and father part of my life. And that's one reason why I'm out here. My baby sister got adopted out very young. My middle sister was raised by somebody else. And then, of course, I was raised by someone in Hopkins Park. So
shout out to the person in Hopkins.
Yeah, she actually died this summer.
All right, so much love.
So, but I will say this: my family gave me a good roadmap on what not to do, and this is the path that I'm on now. I wish I did have a good relationship with them all, but unfortunately, I don't. And it's crazy. I don't know what really separated us or what the division is there. I don't know if it was something that was just passed on from one generation to the next. My biggest thing is not passing it down to my children.
That's what I'm
It's not that. I wish I did because both of my parents, my biological parents, are living. And I wish I did have a good relationship with both. But unfortunately, it's not like that. And it's not much I can do. I will say this. It used to hinder me a lot in my 20s.
Okay.
And I've learned to not hold grudges and not... and to forgive. You know, it's not much I can do, especially when maybe she or him wasn't taught to be great parents. And it's like, how could they teach you?
Right.
And I share this story.
It's a blessing because you don't know what it would have been.
Yeah, so I share this story I share my story all the time because it's like, I can be mad and hateful and angry and this. I didn't get this and I didn't get that. Well, the thing is, I'm here now.
Right. Yep.
So, and I don't fault them for anything. You know, they just didn't have the tools to give me what I needed, and I also, when I got to my 20s, didn't use that to hinder me from living.
Right.
So if anything, I used it to grow, and
sure.
and that's where I'm at now. So yeah.
How does that correlate to you as a parent?
Well, it gave me what not to do as a parent.
For sure.
So I'm raising them totally different than how I was raised, and giving them something that I didn't get. So and that's where the roadmap come in. It's a totally different roadmap.
That makes sense.
As a parent. So.
And that makes sense why earlier when you said it was a tough, difficult road. It's a road not traveled. You don't know it.
Yeah.
Man,
along with the frustrating
it's parenting is
emotions
really,
they go through.
Parenting is really hard. And I will say this, I've learned with each one of my girls, with parenting, all 3 of them, they was parenting. I would say Messiah probably got the best part of me, the baby girl.
Yeah.
The first one, I was a very young mom, not understanding nothing really.
Messiah's the most spoiled.
Yeah. Not understanding a lot, you know, and had to learn with them, you know, and it was challenging, and it still is challenging, but I don't regret not one moment of it, or 1 day, 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, and we'll figure it out together. But we're good. We're all good.
That's what's
up.
up.
They're girls and they get grown, and You know, live their best life, live their truth, and that's my biggest things. And I just try to teach them lessons as I learn them. And to be crazy is that they're teaching me lessons that I don't even know, you know. So I'm learning a lot from them. Sure. And even a lot of my wrongs that I've done, kids would throw it, man, they would throw it back at you. And I'm like, you know what? I have to apologize about that. You're absolutely right, because I could have did it different or said it different. But now it's not much I can do but apologize and move on and make sure I don't make those mistakes. So
That's huge.
Oh, she's matured a lot. And she calls me on a lot of my stuff. Yeah. She really does. My middle girl. She called, Mom, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but maybe you shouldn't have said this or did it this way. And, you know, I'm entitled to my opinion. Yeah, I guess you are. And, you know, back then, parents used to shut us down.
I already know. Still do. Still do.
Entitled to your what?
I don't care what you say. But I'm more free now and open to that. Right. Because they are young adults that have something to say. And shutting them down is not the case all the time.
Push them further away.
Yeah,
just repeating what their parents did.
Yes.
That didn't work. Oh, so we understand.
I allow them to be a little more free on how they speak to me, but not in a disrespectful way. But you can tell me if your feelings are hurt or if I did something or said something wrong, opposed to when I was growing up, I couldn't say that. You know, I was beat down because of that.
Sit down and shut up.
I couldn't tell you to shut up.
They wouldn't say that, but they'd tell me, you know, I hurt their feelings or something. And I want to know that, you know. I want to know you hurt my, well, how? Right. And let me ask you this.
It took 20-some years for us to be able to do it.
How did I hurt your feelings? Well, you told me to, you screaming at me because I didn't clean. But if you'd have cleaned your room, I wouldn't have to, right? So we just walk through that process. Right. Opposed to shutting them down. We're going to reverse it. Why are your feelings hurt? If you'd have did this, they wouldn't be hurt. What can we do better the next day?
Yeah, that's literally how I talk to my nieces and nephews.
And we'll be all right. Okay. Yeah. Well, can I go to? No, you can't go to the game because remember that talk we just had earlier. So I'm sorry, no football game tonight. Oh, so it's so simple. I ain't gotta holler, raise my voice, throw my hand up, strike somebody with a belt. There's other ways to dealing with it, and I've learned that. Did I know it 20 years ago? Absolutely not. Do I know it now? Yeah, I do. Right. You know, so it's, and like I said, parenting, I'm still learning as I go. And every child is different. I have 3 girls with 3 different personalities. So what works for the first is not going to work for the second. What works for the second is not going to work for the third.
That makes sense. I think that's all families, though.
Yeah, it's everybody. I mean, that's even people you cross in your life. I mean, everybody is different. Every human is different. You know, so.
But we a lot alike, too, though. We're a lot alike, too.
Well, we're human.
That's about it.
This is true.
We're human.
Everything about that, yeah.
But we're different. We are. Yeah.
What's the Kalmese?
I had a life of scarcity with my family, so that lifestyle had a lot of details that kind of made it hard for me as the oldest in that environment. And so I really had a very, very difficult relationship with my father. And I really majority experienced my mother through a life of scarcity. So that kind of experience is kind of something that makes a person have to learn the world very slowly. And so with my daughter, I did everything wrong because I really didn't have a lot of guidance on that, like just how to be a parent. But I think wrong as in like, I was kind of trying to make her not like me, you know? And then time went by and I realized I was doing all the right stuff, you know, I wasn't communicating it well. And we learned how to mature in that way within the last few weeks since she started college. Because, you know, they generally don't talk, and a lot of them don't anyway, to their parents very much.
You're not joking.
And so she's really matured a lot in it's been a month now, in college, you know. And so I would say that my relationship with my parents really was more a thing that got in the way of me learning how to be myself. Okay. And that it affected how I raised my daughter because of things I didn't notice early, you know, but I've learned over time that no parent is really, well, few parents really have ever been taught well how to do it.
And they usually say your first child is the one who teaches you and raises you to become a parent.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of
Mine
situations
did.
that
My first one didn't.
Mine did.
no.
I was too young.
But so you're telling me that you didn't learn a lot of lessons that to do or not to do from the first child that went on to the second and third?
No, my first child was more like my sister.
And she's
Oh,
not.
you did
They're
it the
different.
opposite way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
she
made her
wasn't-
your friend, your shield.
They're
right.
all different from each other.
Yeah, totally
She's
different.
They're totally different.
She,
people. Yeah.
I did a lot of things wrong with my oldest child. It's because I didn't know how to parent.
Yeah.
And she got the worst part of me. Which in return, she became this mother that struggled with her first child.
Right.
And a lot of it was brought down because of how I raised her. I didn't really raise her. And I had to go back and call my own stuff on my own bullshit because there's no way in the hell that I can cover that up in any kind of way.
Right.
But I can't take none of it back now. I can call myself on it and go back and we can do counseling and we can try to figure it out because now I'm a strong enough mother now to help her through anything.
Right.
But I couldn't do it at 16 because I had nobody to help me through anything.
Yeah, that's
So
tough.
here I'm going
16.
struggling 16 with
You
the
a
baby.
baby with a baby.
There's no way in the hell I could have instilled anything in her when ain't no one instilling something in me. So then you learn as you go. So 5 or 6 years later, okay, I think I'm strong. I got a state job. I started really early. I had to mature really quick.
Right.
Had that second one, boom. Still don't have it, but understand it a little bit more. But I start putting myself around people that were great mothers that I can mask and look at it. Like, oh, okay, this is how you do things.
Right.
Then by that third, I'm like, oh, okay, I think I'm solid enough. So you get these different challenges from both kids, but you know, children, they're special in a way, but they would challenge you in areas and make you grow the hell up. But I didn't grow the hell up with the first one. I didn't grow up at all. But by the second and third one, I was walking into it.
And children
That's
don't,
dope that you can admit that.
Yeah, children don't actually
Somebody
grow you up.
else out there struggling in that same area.
Do you know how many mothers that I know personally? I can't speak for no one else. But how many mothers I know who have had, and this is not mine. We've had great. Me and moms are good. But how many mothers I know who will raise people my age who stand on that leg of, I didn't do anything wrong. I gave you what I had. That's what it is. It's your turn now. You an adult, it's on you. It's amazing that you as an adult look at your child and say, hey, I dropped the ball. I don't know what I could do about then, but let's work on that.
Right.
That's
and this
amazing.
is my thing is, once that child becomes an adult, you can't hold on to my mom messed me up. You gotta somehow wake up and we can figure it out together and I can get you there because now I'm stable enough to help you through that process. But you can't keep holding on. I don't know. My life is full of I'm messed up. No, you're not messed up. Because now you have a balanced parent that can help you through this. You gotta want it now.
Right.
So so it's a struggle.
I have a parent that I really struggled with in a really harsh way, and but I didn't realize that the skills weren't there, and illness was there, and once the illness was defeated, you know, I couldn't do anything but respect. Like it was just beautiful, just watching how strong and how much improvement came after, and it just really is a heavy thing, and it taught me like I can't quit. Then you know what I mean? Like that's really the bulk of that like part of my life, and developing that ability to like persevere is just watching the change from addiction to moving on out of that, you know. And so like I view this whole thing as like a Narcotics Anonymous thing. It's like NA. It's like you have an illness, and the illness is you are not where you want to be. And
I tell people too, with parents and stuff, and not only it can cross over into relationships. You know, I struggle with that for
it
many
definitely
years,
does. It
where
definitely does.
you don't even know how to have a balanced relationship,
or don't want one.
or don't want one. You know, and your father haven't been in your life, you don't have nothing to mimic off what is a good man and what is a balanced man. So I mean, that's a whole nother subject, but another show.
But you know, sometimes we do have good examples. They just bad examples in that area, right? So I come from a yelling family. My family loud. So my first adult relationship, right? Young lady, we together. Every time she upset me, I yell, right? So I'm going on. I can't understand why she can't understand what I'm saying to her. Because that's what I was raised to do.
Right.
At hindsight, I see it. And this ain't talking about none of her issues or whatever, however it transpired. It's his favorite person to pick at me about. But I had to learn that and use it the next time. Like, okay, yeah, I can't. Yeah, that yellow stuff ain't gonna work.
Not with a woman.
No, you gotta
Yell your ass
that
back.
tone has to be.
I mean, go
All about
off.
delivery.
I
Go
think-
off like a parent to a child.
I think King James probably turned woman into God, because like
Had to.
that description, the jealous God, you gotta honor him all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
You gotta pray to him and for him. You know what I'm saying? Like every,
Nobody else before him.
Yeah, at
Nobody.
at all.
Not even my kids.
You can't
nobody.
even look
Can't even look.
at not another. Don't you better not say boo.
No. No, this is true. This is true.
Right, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
better not say Hare Krishna. You know what I'm saying? You better not say you going to hell. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's really intense. Like, you can't do that, Joy. Yeah. That's a lesson, boy.
That's a maturity for a man, man.
Yeah.
Catch that early,
Yeah,
baby.
that's a male maturity
Wait
that
till you have a
comes on.
kid.
Sir, I'm not having children,
Yes, you
but
will.
I appreciate it.
Yes, you will.
Like, cut the show. I almost cut the show. You ain't cut
Oh, I'm
the
finna
show.
say.
Because we got to do. Well, I got one question we don't normally ask at the end, and then we're gonna do shout outs, and then I guess we could do that. But, what's your biggest achievement? You've got many great achievements since I met you in that small window.
I'd probably say my children, my business, my job. I'm 20 years into a state job. I hopefully will be retiring next
Shout
year.
out to Shapiro.
Don't call their name out on them.
Oh, okay. My bad.
You been there 20
Bleep,
years?
hey, bleep that out.
No, you can't. But it'll be 20 years
That's
November
an
12th.
achievement to be
So,
that long.
20 years in one place.
boy.
Yeah. So
I tried.
so children starting the
Matured
business.
afterwards.
Bro.
My baby is this business.
Good new baby.
I'm still asleep a little bit. I'm like, I have to ask myself every night when I lock that door, am I really doing this?
Yeah.
Is this my new goal? Is this what's happening
Something you
to
spoke
me?
on every day.
Yes, and
Bro.
now it's here and it's like, ooh, okay, now what's next?
A real
Ooh,
conversation.
will I make it? Is it gonna be okay? Am I gonna be okay? I got all these questions, but life is good. I would say it's good. I have no need to complain about anything. Even if it's something is bad, I still ain't complaining about it.
Figure it out.
I am definitely blessed and free and loving and healthy and everything else.
Blessed will be the first word I'd use to describe you, my friend.
Yes. Yes. So
What about you, sir?
That in November I'll be married 14 years.
Yeah.
Shout out to the missus.
Yeah, sure.
ooh, that's a beautiful thing.
Don't know me before the marriage. That was a
I
problem.
so love how you love your wife.
It's
I look
beautiful,
forward to
ain't
that.
it? Yeah.
Every time you post her, I'm like, man. And I show a lot of people too. I said, the way he loved his wife, that's how I want to be loved. If you watching, that's how I want to be loved.
Shout out to the watcher.
Shout out to who
I'm
watching.
gonna get the watcher name. We're gonna put it at the bottom.
Man,
Yeah,
if I don't know nothing, what I know first is the way he loved his wife, and second is fitness.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you.
It's like
Other
a
people
marriage.
might,
The
yes,
fitness
it's
to the
like,
wife to the yeah.
man.
It was just
It's
such a
beautiful
thing when I was a kid. I remember my father and my mother and our difficulties, and I like swore I was gonna be like a good spouse, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I lost everything in like just one space of time where I just was not making good decisions, and it just all fell apart all at once. Camille
You was married?
Camille was born. No,
okay.
Camille was born. I just wasn't mature, and she wasn't either, and it was just two hot coals trying to make water, and it just wasn't gonna work. And it was because I just wasn't choosing well. You know, I wasn't using. I hadn't learned how to really choose my direction. You know, and a lot of people are living at an effect, you know, of what they've been thinking and doing, and not knowing that what they're seeking is what's sending them where they don't want to be, and they blame what they're seeking for what they sought after. You know what I mean? And so, like, one day, like, I like was done with dating. And I was wild. I had a lot of fun. And one day,
I like how you threw that in there. It was real smooth.
yeah,
That's
then
how it should be. I think a man should go through that period of just
Get it
being,
out.
yeah, because like Because you don't need to wonder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
that chasing sensationalism.
Yeah, just
like
go
that.
on and do your thing
Like
and live your life. I
wondering
think a
is
woman
just-
should too. Just live your life.
Yeah.
I agree.
Have
Date. I
fun,
tell my
man.
daughter,
2022.
date.
Have
Live
at
your life.
least 5 one-night stands.
I don't know about all
in
that,
reality, like the life.
No, I agree with you.
I don't know about all that. I'm not telling her that.
Test that car before you drive.
The words of
I don't
Mr.
know about all
Kalmese are not up.
But
They
live your
are
life.
Hell
words of
yeah.
the whole show.
Because
Test
like,
them out.
because
Test their ass out.
what in actuality, what really happens is you learn about the quality of choosing
I'm trying to
people
tell you,
who do
for
that.
real.
Yeah.
And
That is
then
true.
After time goes by, you like, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Right.
And then when you finally meet the right one, it doesn't mean that you had to wait for them either.
Yeah.
It's just such a thing that's so
different,
really
yeah.
intense that you'd be a fool not to respect it. Like they changed woman to God, you know, like you really got to realize what you got. You know, they're imbued with the ability to create life, so there are somebody's God if they have a child. You know,
I say it all the time.
you got
It's
to
my
really
God on
back
my
up
side.
about how you are as a man. You got a real woman. You know, real women are not like things you can just force things on, or you gotta follow me. Yeah, all right, bro.
Right.
You can say
Good
that
luck
all
with
you
that.
want. Good luck with
For
that.
real.
You're gonna stay single and have more and more kids, cause like it don't work. You know, like you forcing your way or claiming a power of some sort is only going to put her in a position to feel under control. And a woman is not at her best when she feels under control. She's at her best when she's at her freest.
Right.
You know, she may be anxious or she may be struggling with something. At the time, you just got to pour the love in. Just like pour more on. She get on my nerves right now, but I got to pour more on. You know, you got to do it because like it's what they are. You know, they are the source of love. You know, it's like you're not supposed to judge how they love. You're supposed to learn how they love. And the whole dating world is
Say that again. No, that's powerful. You're not supposed to what? I'm sorry, I had to stop you. You don't know how
judge.
powerful
You're not
that
supposed
was.
to judge how they love. You're supposed to learn it. And that's
powerful.
how you know who you're supposed to be with.
That's
and
powerful.
The whole dating world is like full of an enormous amount of people who like judge the whole dating world they've experienced and put it on the whole dating world instead of like realizing they're testing out other people's husbands and wives until you find the one that you're gonna want. You know, and like people don't look at it that way. They look at it like all these types, they don't have accountability. Or all these types, they don't do enough of this sexual favor. All these types, they complain too much. Like, no, actually, bro, you talking about who you looking for. Right. You talking about all of your criteria and what they generally act like. So it's time to deepen your criteria. It's not just
your
about
horizon.
the color of their skin, because that don't mean nothing when it talks about the soul and the person that you're talking to. Because you don't mess around with the person with a color of skin and with a color of penises, spots.
for
and
real.
shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just go off that alone. You can't just go off because she got a big booty. You can't just go off because she likes sports and likes video games. You know, you can't do that anymore. She has to be like what you need. And you can't tell if you're too busy trying to push on what you didn't like about the other ones.
Right.
Don't be like this chick. Don't be like that. And she's like, you don't even know who I am.
Right.
Found that what a lot of us are missing in our maturation stages is a woman or a mate that will mature us and make us find interest in advancing ourselves. And then we like, man, I got to get out and travel now. I got to
Right.
learn more things because this person like wants to do that too. And, you know what I'm saying? Like you like start your goals and mindset start changing, and then they like then they mess around and they get you really if they say something like, "I believe in you."
No, for real.
Oh,
For real. You showing up to my event?
really?
Too? Like,
My boy made fun of me when I said I wanted to open up my business.
Right.
Man, that's
No, for
crazy.
real.
You,
They like, what can I do
wow,
now?
you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
Yep.
like, sheesh. Well, then what do you need me to do then?
Kris gave me one of my most mind-blowing things. And I don't even know if, I bet he may remember it when I bring it up now, but I bet to him it is minuscule. So Kris was working out of another location in Riley, Bourbonnais. I can't think of but it's a well-known location. Used to be Hidden Cove. We're gonna leave it there.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
And
shout out.
there was a
Shout
moment
out.
where Kris was looking to move locations. So this is my guy. This is my mentor. He in a tough spot. That means I'm in a tough spot. Let's go. Look, what can we do? So.
No, you good. Keep going.
Okay. So we go riding. We looking for places for him to get a place. And so Kris is like, well, I may have to shut down for a while. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, I instantly go into, man, I don't know how your wife gonna take that. I hope that don't affect, And he in the middle of his whole frustration, because if you know Kris, when he go into deep thought, he not even talking to you. He in his own zone. He stops. He pauses. He turns to me. He says, whoa. This business has nothing to do with my love. My wife is here forever. No. He said, I could go work a 9 to 5 tomorrow and she'll be fine. So I don't know where you got that from. And when he said that, I instantly went, I ain't never experienced true love. I'm still looking for true love. And I was in a serious relationship at the time. And it's just, when I tell you it went downhill from that moment, because it was like, I never feel like I could be comfortable enough to lose a job or quit a job and still be, secure here.
Right.
Wait a minute. Nah, this can't be right, because my man's in the middle of his thought process went, no, stop talking like that. Let's just focus on what we doing.
Right.
Nice.
And it changed my whole mind. It really, especially after I had a chance to process it and time goes by. And and that thing rattles in my mind every couple of days. And every time I talk to a young lady now, right, that's a big portion of going in my head while I'm talking to her. Can I believe that you believe in me forever?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, but that don't start until you show that
some time in.
Yeah, you actually have to show her that.
But in my mind, I'm just saying in my mind,
really
that's rattling there. I've never looked for that.
You got to really be a part of her.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that never was never just the idea of happily ever after, because I like you and you like me. That's how I go.
And the thing is, like, it don't even have to be a happily ever after either. Like, if a relationship ends up ending, you have to learn how to accept that the next stage is meant to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to accept what you became, and then take the time to
Everything is a
brush
lesson.
off what is lingering. You know what I mean? And then you got to move forward. You know what I mean?
And then most
Like,
people, what they do is they go into another relationship, from one relationship to the next.
That's dangerous.
And people don't want to be alone or sit by themselves or sit still, which
That's tough.
everybody need that time to sit still. And it doesn't happen
Yeah.
often.
So I would say that, my most successful thing that I've accomplished would absolutely be that,
Marriage.
hands down. Is because, like, everybody's afraid of it. I'm one of them dudes who's afraid to say the word love.
Really?
It's like, the L word. Did you say the L word, G? No! You know what I mean? Like, you ain't say that out loud, G.
If you ever pay attention to our episodes, that's one of the main things I say. That's love.
Yeah.
I try to force that word upon
it's
people.
powerful.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a heavy
that's
word.
what I
Love is
see.
my
When I see
superpower.
Kris, I see love, his wife and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, no, you answer that question. What's your
For me?
biggest achievement, bro?
Like my kids, bro. Off top, my kids graduating high school, just being alive, bro. Being alive today. That's it.
Right.
Ain't nothing too major. I'm happy. I'm cool. No one complaining about nothing. So
That's all you have to do. Yeah. Anybody.
Yeah.
Like, just stop complaining.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know what I mean?
They
I
get
struggle
out.
with people complaining.
I'm trying to
You
tell
do.
you.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
man,
You definitely do.
bad,
I'm saying
bro.
it in agreement.
Bad.
Yeah.
You do that nose turn.
It's no. Why? Why do you complain? Why do you waste the energy to complain? So
Again,
much.
though, sometimes it's how you talk. Some people don't grow past being taught.
Yeah.
So if somebody who complains all the time, you don't even realize you complain all the time.
Just
Just
let
the
it
other
break.
day, I was complaining. It's me and a group of guys. I was complaining about something because I didn't understand, right? And then that's what got brought to me. No, you didn't come up with solutions. What you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I try to
It's a
reverse
hard pill to
people's
swallow.
thought process
Solution
with it.
orientation. Yeah, I can't. It's actually the time when I turn on. Actually,
Yeah.
as soon as people start complaining about stuff, I'm like,
Go the opposite. Well,
what are you complaining about?
right. That's me.
led you
I
there?
get him
Right.
a reason. That
Why are you doing that?
Chris
to
walking
yourself?
right back to,
Why are you doing
Right.
that to yourself? Like, what exactly will you accomplish with that? As soon as they said, really? You know what I'm saying? It's like this one police officer, I was talking to him at just outside this town. We were just politicking at an event, and he would start pouring out some stuff, man. And I was like, what led you to that? You know, it's just, and just was like, here it goes. She sat down like, on my phone. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know. It's not that I feel like it turns my mind on because like people really, really just want to hear it from somebody else what they're saying in their minds. Like they want. A lot of people don't want to hear it because like it makes them uncomfortable and it puts them in an accountability stage. But when somebody like is like they just start talking, you gotta. They're looking for somebody to give them something, and I'm not gonna never like try to take something from them. I'm gonna try to like give them the chance to listen to themselves and think about what they're saying out loud, so they can feel the other person's perspective and looking at them, so they can see that they're editing what they're saying and they'll catch what they actually need to work on. It's really intense. Like how people.
Something I got to start doing. I got to start working on because I'll shut your ass down.
No, I wouldn't shut him down, but I would question him like he said. But a lot of times it's like, why are you? I ask a lot of why questions. Yeah. And a lot of times when you ask the why, it brings them back to themselves, really.
Man, try to read this book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success.
You gave me that book first time I met you.
Yeah.
That's my first book.
And now I give it away for Christmas.
Because it's what does it. Like, he like put it in perspective. Like,
yeah.
The first chapter is called The Law of Pure Potentiality. And it like, I was like,
it's a simple read. Can be read in one day.
Yeah, one day. Like I've read it in a few hours.
You can listen to it on YouTube. So I don't read it anymore. I now listen to it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's good to listen. I would say like if you have a day with nothing to do, man, just try to binge through it. You know, just
do it again.
But I think one chapter at a time is the way that you really digest it. But that stuff, I mean, that book is so well put together, and he like still now talks about that. The properties in it, because it just is so compelling. Like it really like takes exactly what you need to hear and put you on track. And like I'll like pop it open. I have a few books like that, but
they almost like reset books.
You like skirt. I don't even know why I was even thinking about that stuff.
Right.
I need to get my pen and paper. I got work to do. You know what I mean? Like it really is intense. Like there's a few books like that. The 4 Agreements. Yeah. That one was a really good one for people who struggle with other people and all that. Because like a lot of people struggle with what other people think and what other people see, and they don't even know it. And they're like, I don't care what anybody thinks. Yes, you do.
Yeah. That's why they say
you put your shit down.
They're trying to get you to stop judging them.
You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of that. Yeah. Right. Stop judging me. So I'm gonna tell you that I don't care what you think. Like, no. Yeah. Like, you know when you care too much about what other people think and what you can't control, when you're worried about the future and you are stuck about something in the past. Yeah. That's when you can tell. When you're like, that's none of your business. Like, for sure. I can see somebody right now watching this like,
quit telling all the secrets,
bro. Like,
that's true though. That's real.
I'm talking to you too. Yeah. You know, that's like real. It's real. You know, nobody's gonna say it to you. Yeah. A lot of people are people pleasers. You know what I mean? And we need that. You know, this mentor question is like really big. Like we need that.
For sure. It's so serious. Mentoring is so serious to me. I think I said this in a previous episode that I drive Uber as well. I know y'all already know, but So I drive Uber as well, and there are a lot of young people, and it's older people too, but it's more specifically young people. They get in the car and they instantly start, and then they'll apologize, and I go, oh no, you paid for this time, whatever you need in that moment. And I try to talk them through whatever they're going through. My favorite thing to say, it's usually a younger woman or a younger man, I'll use a song. But I'll say it to you guys. I won't say it to you because yours is a little different. Well, I guess not yours. Let me use yours. So at 12 years old, do you remember the things that you used to struggle with? Things that bothered you? At 18, were they as big as of a problem?
A little bit.
But at 18, could you handle what you
Yeah, I can handle it better.
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever you're going through now, right? If you give it a little time, you'll be able to walk through that too. You just need time to think it through like you did from 14 to 18, from 16 to 21. And usually that really gets them going because, they'll start telling me what that problem was. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, could you imagine dealing with that now? Oh, that's a piece of cake. Yeah. Well, give what you got going on, give it a week. See what you could give to it. And that usually calms people down. And then, exchange numbers like, hey, can I have your number in case whatever you need. Text me, don't call, text me. But I really believe in the mentor to mentee thing. Even for friendships,
And then you can mentor people that you don't even know. I mean, I come across people all the time, and my kids be like, do you know? You just stood here and talk to that person
right
for a whole hour. You don't even. No, I just talk.
That's Kris and Kroger.
I can't go nowhere without talking. 30-minute trip be 3 hours.
For real.
Mentoring is so big. It's
beautiful.
We created churches.
Yeah.
So it's big.
Is.
It's huge. It's like it's how people become better people by learning from other people. And some people are strong enough to be able to learn how not to do things properly, and other people have to learn the hard way. You know what I mean? It's just, but we all need examples because there's way too many people who are in small towns who don't experience enough people, who are stuck in mindsets because they haven't experienced enough people. And they feel like everybody else is supposed to fit into their bubble and how they describe everyone else.
When their small bubble is
in their small bubble.
bigger bubble. That
It's
they don't
like
even
there's
see.
so much that you're missing, you know, like people getting mad about gender identifications and stuff like that. Like, hey, it's just, you know, you just gotta respect their space. That's all. You know, that's like somebody saying, I don't like you because of what you describe yourself as. Like, it's really just because you think you're normal. You know, it's your normal is your normal.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. You know, it's tough though, because like when you get into the subject of health and people will go, well, I'm not that kind of person. I'm just not into that. And that's great to feel that way. But what you are only describing is what you were. And what you're going to be is what you're doing. So you're describing what you want to consistently do because it's what you've always done. You're not describing what you actually are. You know, so like, when I work out, I break out. Probably because you don't work out.
That's real. That's real though.
When I work out, I get nauseous. How much water do you have? I don't like the taste of water.
I don't know if we trust people who don't like the taste of water
True.
now.
This is true.
It's a lot of people
that's just your mouth is just used to everything having a
whole
flavor.
nother conversation.
I worked with someone
I'm
that did not drink water in probably 10 years.
Huh?
She didn't drink water. Still don't drink water right now today. And I had to go back and ask the doctor, like, how is she surviving without? And she drank Pepsi. She would come to work with 6 cans of Pepsi.
There is hydration in it, but it ain't much.
And so he said, she's getting the water from her food, because food has some sort of water in it. And I'm like, my kidneys are still screaming. Something is.
Or liver and kidneys.
I got a relative who told me he don't like no vegetables. No fruits. He only like bananas. I said, you don't like no fruits? You tried them all? But he outrates me, so I had to back off.
That's his thing,
It's time for some shout outs. We like to end the show sending love to folks. You going first.
Me?
Yeah.
Shit.
You ain't ready. If y'all ready,
So
go
late.
ahead. If not, I am.
I'm first.
Yeah, you
Anybody.
Well, I want to
said
give a
him.
shout out. Okay.
I ain't got one
I
yet.
give
He
one.
ready.
I give a shout out to my children, to you lovely people, and all the other people
Appreciate
that
it.
are watching. Mine's just a quick shout out.
Yeah, I shout out to Jessica Calmese, my wife, Camille Calmese, my daughter,
My people.
Miracle Houston, my
We love dogs.
my other daughter, you know, her girls. Send a shout out to Broke Dusty and her, and not Ryan, because you know, he's still, you know,
I get it.
with
I
his
knew it was coming.
excuses.
I just
Everybody,
took on the
man.
challenge, so I'll be in there Monday.
Sean Northern,
I love Sean's posts.
Logan Bovair,
My boy.
Daniel Harris, Isaiah Nwokonkwo, Samantha Ochoa. I mean, I can go all day.
Yeah.
Man, all day.
If you only
Caden,
understood
Teddy.
how many people in this area, you know how I talk about Smitty? Everybody in the health world, everybody got a Kris story. Everybody got a Kris story.
You hear him all the time.
Man, it's
Somebody
crazy.
talking about
Yeah.
him every time.
But he swear he's not well known.
Man, look.
What they need
He's
to do?
well known.
What's your motto when it comes to the gym?
Get your ass up.
I'm probably not well known,
Gym.
but Kris for sure well
Get
known.
your ass up and go.
You ready? You got yours? You want me to go?
Go ahead.
I want to give a shout out to my parents. It's September. It's Virgos. They both were born. So 2 days is Mom's birthday. Shout out to Moms. Love you. Shout out to Pops. We're going to the Michigan game.
Yeah.
See you Saturday. Love y'all.
I'm ready. Shout out to my Uncle Randy. He just turned 60. I just DJ for him this Saturday. A dad that's not my dad.
That's
Shout
love.
out Unc. For sure.
That's love.
Can I give a health tip?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Health tip. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water in a 32 ounce or less per hour rate throughout the day, and stop drinking water before 4 hours before bed. Do not eat within 4 hours before bed. and try to have 4 to 6 fruits, fresh fruits, in the morning every day. This is not a fast. This is not a diet trend. This is a challenge to teach you how to give your body what it needs and see what you'll get from it. Take a picture of your face, shoulders up, before you start this, and then take it again 8 weeks later and tell me what you see.
That's beautiful. Now, what if
I have a question. You said stop drinking water 4 hours before bed.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why is that? Because I drink water all throughout the night. The whole
that's
gallon be on the side. I don't drink right now.
Your digestion needs to stop to allow your body itself to rest.
Oh, I drink it all day.
So what if I got a gallon by my bed? So every time I get up to go to the bathroom, I just hit my gallon. What's wrong with that?
Well, it's because you drank the water before bed that you had to get up and go to the bathroom.
I'm fine with it now.
What I'm saying is your circadian rhythm, the pattern in which your mind accepts rest and then waking up in the morning, needs to have a consistent thing where it is consistently getting 5, 6, 7 hours without stopping. On the way down, your stress levels drop and your whole body starts a recovery process by resting. All of your muscles and every system takes a chill.
And it's going to be hard to break.
And then
Water all through.
when you wake up in the morning, what wakes you up,
I drink so much water.
what I call the touch of God, when you wake up in the morning, is actually your cortisol levels spiking in your bloodstream, anticipating the next day. So if you consistently pee at night, then your mind and body will consistently anticipate
You
going to the pee. Look at the clock. I bet you it's
Yeah,
at the
see, I
same
don't wake
time.
up in the middle of the night
No, I
and
do a
pee,
lot.
but I do right before I
have
go
an
to bed. I
overactive
drink a
bladder,
lot
too.
of. I just drink. I'm over a gallon. I just drink.
So you should, if you cut it off before the 4-hour period, your muscle recovery would improve. A lot of things, enormous functions improve. People wouldn't lose hair as much either. There's a lot to that. So
You know I drink my water.
He done rubbed.
Appreciate y'all so much. That's it. It was a lot easier. Look, hey,
What time? Y'all got me past my
it wasn't
bedtime.
4 hours.
What time is it? 2 hours. What time is it?
I've been trying. Hey, look.